Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with, of course, my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and I brought the law with me, guys. Just doing a little short Sunday night live stream here because we got some big announcements, of course. You guys know we're headed to the draft. Law, how are you doing tonight?
Oh man, I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine, man. It's just been one of those days where I'm just ready for the draft, ready for to get everything going in the right direction. You guys know how it is. Draft, everybody is 0-0, so we just trying to figure out where we are staying at once once the draft is over with.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, we're getting ready for the trip, and we've got, oh, man, we've been working this thing actually for months. I know you guys don't see all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes and things, but my man Law, he's been doing fantastic work along with Vosh and, even Okoye. I know you guys are doing some stuff together, or at least going back and forth and things, looking at guys. But we are going to be showing up. You're going to be there on Wednesday night, right?
Man, I'm gonna be live in the flesh, man. We're gonna have to get this thing going.
We are going to be reporting, live streaming Wednesday night from Maverick Bar, and that's Mike Fisher's bar. That's in, it's close to the Star. I know it's real close to there. I'm trying to remember. It's 1616. Do you know what the address is on that?
1616 Hebron
That's it,
Drive
Hebron.
or something like that.
Right. So if you guys already have plans for the draft itself for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and you want to get a chance to kind of hook up with all of us guys, because, we're talking about my man Law Nation, we're talking about Vosh, we're talking about E2 Blue, we're talking about Michael Anthony Fitness, we're talking about DMV, we're talking about Foots. All of us are going to be together at Mike Fisher's bar the night before the draft. And I got to be honest, man, it's going to be like Christmas Eve to me.
Yes, indeed. So get your popcorn ready, wear your lucky socks, do whatever you need to do, because we need to draft this thing going in the right direction. I don't think that we should go with a Calvin Ridley. I'm just going to go ahead and say it now, because I do know that that's been a major topic. But go ahead and break it down, what you think, what all they've been rambling with the news with this Calvin Ridley talk.
Here's the thing. It could be, of course, the bait and switch. When have they ever drafted somebody that you expected them to draft?
Believe it or not, Dez Bryant, I wanted them to draft him.
Oh, you're the one.
Yeah, I was like, hey, grab this guy. We need an enforcer. We need somebody that can remind us of an Emmett, something like that. It was back, 8 years ago. So,
well,
so shoot me, guys, shoot
I'm not
me.
Gonna shoot you. Because Dez had some great games and things, and I ain't mad at Dez. I wish him well. Probably won't get on to a team till after the draft. When teams see what they're going to get and so on, and fill the rosters out. So you probably won't see that until after the draft. I think right now the teams are pretty much hunkering down and getting ready to make these moves for the draft, and they're looking at trading. They're just getting ready to pounce. So what I've heard. And I can't verify any of this, of course, it's just rumors or things that I've heard, that they are really high on Calvin Ridley, that they loved the workouts that they had with him. They love the interviews, and they feel if he's there that they definitely going to go in that direction. And you've already stated that you definitely think that that's a mistake.
Yes, indeed. I think that we are so close. And in the parallel of what we're seeing is that, and I just didn't realize until I started breaking down film, because I'm doing like a film series of Dak Prescott, where it's going to be Dak Prescott versus Cam Newton. You know what I mean? And I looked at the Cam Newton 2015 team, and what I saw was that everybody comparing Cam Newton to Dak Prescott, or Dak Prescott to Cam Newton. But what drove their team in 2015 was everything about the defense. There was a run-first team, too, as well. And what I'm saying is, guys, this team is so similar to that team if we can get the right places in the defense. And I'm talking about defensive-wise. Guess what happened, Mark?
What happened?
They let go Steve Smith that year.
Oh, yeah.
People fail to realize it was because of the continuity with Cam Newton to Steve Smith wasn't that great, so they let him go. And guess what happened? It brought him all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, we know what happened in the Super Bowl. He folded up like a week 10. But,
that pressure, I tell you what, that pressure they were putting on him, though, there have been a lot of quarterbacks that would have folded up in that year.
Yeah, yeah. But it was one of those things where it was a good defensive match. It was just that one can argue and say an East Coast team flying all the way out to the West Coast might have changed a lot of things and not the preparation. Peyton Manning been there before. But what I'm saying is that this team, if we can just find a way to focus on defense just a little bit, if not defense, get a Will Hernandez. But if they don't do those two things and they go out there and get that Calvin Ridley kid, I'm just gonna be like, okay, at least it's not Vander Esch though.
Well, I'll say this much though about when we did get Des Bryant, because that's right after we had T.O. and we traded for Roy Williams. That's back when they were basically bargain basement shopping for offensive linemen. You know, they had, I think, like Marco Colombo? Was he one of them? But some of the guys they had were basically kind of Chaz Greenish. So and that's where I kept saying we need to focus on the line. We need linemen and stuff in here. We weren't having even a 1,000-yard rusher at that point. You know, I think we had, Murray hadn't really. I don't think Murray was even part of the team yet. But God, I'm trying to think of the last 1,000-yard rusher before DeMarco Murray.
Julius Jones,
right? He was the only other 1,000-yard rusher we had since the early 2000s. So it's true about getting rid of Des Bryant, but we do have a better line, I feel, at least right now. So I'm hoping, though, we go ahead and definitely focus in on that offensive line or definitely defensive line. I'm still worried about linebacker. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure that I'm sold on Jalen Smith. He's working out now without the brace, without the Ritchie brace on his foot, which is definitely good news. And if you guys don't know, the problem with it is it's drop foot, and basically it's like a limp foot. You know, it's kind of like literally his foot will go limp. And the Ritchie brace is basically like a spring, so that way it pulls it back up. And the problem with him is if he doesn't have to cut, if it's just like go to the A-gap over here, he can get there. But the problem is being a linebacker, you've got to be able to move almost universally. You may have to go ahead and cover a guy that's coming through in the slot and plant your foot and change direction, and that's the problem with him. So he's good in spots. Hopefully he'll get better because he's got the instinct, but I'm looking at a roster with linebackers, man, and, you know, Sean Lee will be good for 10, 11 games, but we're going to have times where he's not going to be there.
Yeah, what will make those guys better, the Sean Lees of the world, healthier too as well, and the Jalen Smith, what would just remove all of the reservations from everybody's mind is the Vita Vea, somebody that can clean that A-gap up or clog the pocket and push the pocket back, and where these guys can now fly free. And we do know that if we're talking about it from an analytics side or percentage side, Jalen Smith will play better than he did last year.
Oh, without a doubt.
Healthy.
Yeah.
And if we look at it from this aspect too, as well, can he shed blocks? Yes. Can he explode and fly off to the edges? Yes. So it's one of those things where will he be flying and be more knowledgeable of the system by being his second year in the system? Or pretty much third year.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I think that he's going to be a firecracker out there. He's going to be explosive. Sean Lee gonna be the gasoline. It's just gonna be a bang bang situation only if we get that middle of the pocket secure with a big booty guy that can crash upfield like a Vita Vea, one of those big plugs. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know about him. You know what I'm talking about when you get a guy down in the dirt.
You know, and that's what people don't realize the importance, because they'll look at a big guy in the middle and they'll say, well, you know, he only gets 3 or 4 sacks. But what you have to understand is a defense isn't designed for the linemen to make them plays. It's designed for the linebackers to be able to make the moves. So that big guy in the middle, he might only get, like I said, 3, 4, 5 sacks. But what he's doing is he's plugging up the middle and keeping the linebackers clean to make those tackles. The other thing he's doing is he's in the quarterback's face, so that quarterback can't step up as those defensive ends are getting pushed outside. Those walls start closing in on him, and he's going to start getting happy feet and wanting to get rid of that ball, and you're going to get turnovers because of that pass rush. Chris Rainier, thank you very much for the super chats, man. I'm going to put you in our next drawing that we'll do tomorrow night.
Put him in double time. He put double for the trouble.
There we go.
He put double trouble.
I got to tell you guys, I've been getting ready for this draft. You guys saw the RV. I got my pork shoulders and stuff. In fact, I just finished actually getting those seasoned up because I'm actually going to smoke them tomorrow and have all this stuff frozen so I can take it out and it'll be real easy. But we're going to be throwing down at this thing. I cannot wait, man. I may not sleep until next Sunday from this point out. I got so much stuff to do, but it's going to be all worth it. One other thing that I've been hearing too is that the coaching staff is not sold on Rico Gathers.
Rico Gathers out here making mixed CDs, selling T-shirts, and walking around with stacks of money. So I don't think he's focused.
Yeah, and that's the thing I kind of wondered myself too, because here it is, you're looking at a guy who's out for the season with a concussion, and you see him literally there banging his head with his rap music and stuff, and I'm kind of like, is that a good look?
Man, it's not a good look, and I do know that some people are going to be like, oh, man, it's a young guy, let him make his music, It's just one of those things, guys. If you're hungry, you're going to eat. PhD is what I'm looking for. Poor, hungry, and determined to go out there and make things happen. I'm not all about this lip service. I'm not all about this people going out here saying, well, he got to make another life. Right now, he got to make his imprint out there on the National Football League. Because if not, if he want to go play basketball, he can do that.
Right.
If he want to make some CDs and some trap music, then do that. But don't use the Cowboys as a what you call that, a spotlight to push your stuff out there. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. The football, what 4 or 5 years at max? He had the rest of his life to go make CDs and DVDs and put his rap career out there.
You're preaching to the choir on that one, and that's what you're fortunate if you have a 10-year career. You're actually lucky if you can get to that second contract. So that time in the NFL is short, and once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, you're looking at a guy like a man trying to get back in, being reinstated and stuff. You look back and say, damn, I wasted that career, man. You can't get that back. I mean, I look back at some things now, and I wish I had done them differently because, maybe I would have had an opportunity to do something different. But once that time is gone, it's gone. And, the team's not going to wait for you.
Right. And that's the thing is, when you're talking about leadership, you're a father, you telling your son, hey, these are the stumps, these are the thresholds that I had to overcome. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you this so you won't have to go through that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm only telling Rico, hey, these are some stumbling blocks that you can pass over if you can just listen. Just listen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You have the rest of your life. Yeah. Hey, Jay-Z out there 49, 50, still making CDs and DVDs and stuff like that. Billionaire, whatever he is. You got all your time to make that rap music. You want to have a small window of time to play this football.
Well, here's another thing that it's been also my contention now that we're seeing an evolution of how the Cowboys are doing business. The whole Dez Bryant situation let me know that Jerry Jones really ain't running shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost no, because you kind of heard that Linehan and that Jason Garrett definitely wanted to get rid of Dez. Well, we know Stephen Jones definitely did. So now they're seeming to have more discussions. Remember when it used to be basically Jerry Jones was just pulling shit out his ass? Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Right.
Let me. I didn't mean to say it like that, but literally, Jerry Jones. Let's give away 2 number ones for Roy Williams.
Right, or the Joey Galloway deal.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that was another one of those ones. The guys that could not stay healthy, and from the time that he wanted to get Johnny Manziel, it was like Stephen Jones, give me that card. Give me the card. Right. So the question is, and we're going to see all or nothing. We're hearing that Jason Garrett actually has some fire to it. And I know you've been already talking about that a lot. Mm-hmm. Is Jason Garrett given more power now?
No, he was just booted up with a higher CPU processor. He had more gig of RAM added to him, man. It's one of those things, guys, that give me a guy that's just authentic with it. Not saying that he's not, give me a guy that don't look robust with it. Mm-hmm. Give me a Jim Harbaugh. Give me somebody else different to have a different echo of voices out there throughout the locker room. Now, granted, with the actual Dez Bryant talk, I do know a lot of people are out after me because of Dez Bryant. My thing is they coddled him so much, and we saw that. I don't have to go real far, right?
Right.
I can talk about what last year or year before he was cutting the carrot with the soup and he cut his hand, and they try to do a masquerade of just trying to cover up that story. And then on top of that, he was playing. He was so scared of getting the X-ray or whatever MRI of his knee because he was scared for what the results may be.
Not showing
I
up
can
for
go on
treatment.
and on and on. They're playing last year with an injury. Come on, guys. That is not helping the team. What's help the team will be like, okay, let's go ahead and get this attrition together because football is a war of attrition. Let me go ahead and play healthy instead of playing unhealthy so I can better this team. Now, granted, I do know that everybody say that I don't put any pressure on Dak Prescott, but I would say this too as well. If Dak Prescott don't show up this year, fair to show up anything like he did like last year.
The second half of the year.
Fire and brimstone is going to come out here. I'm gonna break him down too as well. But I'd like to get a kid at least 3 years. Go ahead, my brother. I ain't trying to cut you off.
No, not at all. But no, I agree with you. The second half of the season was definitely not. The first half of the season, actually, he was carrying the load there because Zeke was not doing much. You know, he was averaging about, I think, 3.7 yards for the first 4 games. You know, and so, I mean, and when we look at everybody across the board, Zeke Elliott's totals went down by a yard per carry last year. You looked at Jason Witten's, receptions went down by a yard per completion. You looked at Cole Beasley. I don't know where Cole was. So it was everybody on that offense took a step back. And, there's plenty of blame to go around, but unfortunately, somebody got to go. And with us being in the cap situation we were, $16 million in the headaches, the team kind of said, you know what, we can go ahead and move on. But at least the good news is we only have 3 guys now that are over $10 million a year.
So I know Tyrone Crawford may be one of them, right?
Yeah, no, actually it's not. It's DeMarcus Lawrence. It's Tyron Smith, and it is Travis Frederick, I believe.
Oh, man, I keep all of them, and I try to figure out something. If D-Law can show anything that he showed last year, I try to craft something around it just in case. And then with T. Crawford, it's time for the for the marching band to march him on out of here. If he don't, I don't know. They coddle him for some reason. Maybe he has an inside scoop on the Jerry Jones family too as well. Yeah. I don't know.
Yes,
maybe Jason Witten telling
also,
him, "Hey, this is how you stay on the team."
The Sam's Cowboys. Yes, it's also Scott Linehan's fault. I put a lot on Scott Linehan because that offense was pretty vanilla. I see Vash Lombardi's here. 2 more days from today, and you are free. Yeah, Vash, I can't wait to meet you, man. Leave the guns at home. But then again, do whatever you need to do, man. We are ready, man. We are going to be hyped to be doing it in Dallas. It's going to be a fantastic event. I'm hoping that we'll see plenty of you guys. We're going to have plenty to eat, plenty of YouTubers and everything else to go through and meet you guys. Final thoughts on what you think we need to get at this draft?
Basically, I'm leaning towards the core. And when I say the core is going to be either a Vita Vea, if not a Will Hernandez. And either or those picks will help this team out on defense regardless. You see, on the offensive side, if you go get a Will Hernandez, you're going to run the ball more efficient. You're going to see a better Ezekiel Elliott out there on the field. You're going to see a more comfortable passer of the ball in Dak Prescott. You're going to see your boots, your wiggles. You're going to see the actual vertical seam route when they put Jason Witten to the side and they slide Jason Witten into the slot and have the other tight end playing the tight end position and have him running the inline routes. We can see that. We've seen that too before in the past. So you'll have a better approach to this offense. Right. And then as far as defensive-wise, if you fall in love with the Vita Vea, if we get them, hey, this is what's going to happen. You'll keep Jalen Smith at middle. He's going to grow within that position. He's going to be faster, flying to the ball in the spot of the ball. He don't have to chase anymore because those things are going to be open. And then you're going to have an extra security in Sean Lee. And who knows with the 3rd or 4th round pick, maybe they go get a Griffin guy with the half of a hand, whatever. Maybe they go get a guy like that who can fly and play that sound.
And definitely be a special team standout, which is somebody else you need too. Well,
true that.
I've been educated by the young pup Vash out there because Vash made a great point the other night on Friday, and he said, "Listen, we don't need 10 guys. Let's go ahead and work on using and moving around those picks and try and see if we can get 4 or 5 really good guys and see what we can do," which makes a whole lot of sense.
Yes, indeed. Quality over quantity. Yeah. I love that. Salute to Vash Lombardi. VOCHLOMBARDI. That's how he said, right?
There you go. And
Yes.
part of that may end up being the Earl Thomas. And we've got the two camps, of course. Some people are like, stay away from him. He's too old. You got rid of Dez Bryant. He's about the same age. Why are you going to get an old safety? And yada, yada, yada. I still think it'd be good.
Let me tell y'all why we should get Earl Thomas. You know what I mean? Everybody by Sunday, right? The draft is going to be over by Sunday. Is that correct, Mark?
Saturday, yes. It's 10 o'clock to roughly about 5 or 6 on Saturday, and then it's done.
Earl Thomas is going to be in a Dallas Cowboys gear by Sunday, okay? And this is the reason why deadline make deals, and everybody who's calling Earl the Pearl Thomas old, just take a look at what Charles Woodson did to elevate the Green Bay. He was cast out. Everybody was saying he was too old, rugged, and ran out and ran through. But guess what? He made the Green Bay team better. And when they went to the Super Bowl, of course, he got injured or what have you. But everybody was that young defense. They were scrappy. They didn't have like the top 5 defense, but they understood where to be at with the ball. And they hosted that Lombardi Trophy. So I'm not trying to call Earl Thomas Charles Woodson, but their numbers are very comparable in a sense of playing the safety when Charles Woodson moved out to safety. So guys, do your homework, check it out. Yes, Charles Woodson was old. Everybody was saying that we don't want him. He's too old. And guess what happened? He balled, B-A-L-L.
I will say he's a lot better than anybody we've had in a long time. Somebody was asking, we're going to actually be on Wednesday night at Maverick Bar.
Exclusive.
Yes, Maverick Bar, which is Mike Fisher's bar and everything. We're going to have a ball there, and then for the draft, we're going to be setting up in Rangers Lot H. We're going to end up actually we got this big screen TV that will be out there. All your favorite YouTubers will be there. Chicken wings. You guys saw the chicken wing challenge I've got going on. And we're going to pulled pork. We're going to have some black and blue sliders. And it's going to be a party. So as you guys are trying to walk and get to NFL Experience, stop on by, check us out and everything else. And if you get tired of standing around over there inside NFL Experience, come on by, have yourself some Mojo Punch, and check out the guys.
Yes, indeed. I can't wait to see you guys out there. And any Eagle fan, the first Eagle fan that I see out there at Mike Fisher joint, Mavs Bar, I got you on one beer just to show you guys that I appreciate you guys for finally making and winning the Super Bowl. I got you on one beer. That's what Law Nation can do for you.
Oh, man. So, wow. Okay. You know, in the second one, I'll just stomp on your foot. How's that?
No. Give him one of them hot, spicy.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh, man. I tell you what, that wing sauce that we had today, man. It had flavor. It burned like hell, but it had actually a really good taste to it. So I can't wait to have some of you guys test it out and see how y'all like it.
It was delicious.
Yes, indeed, man. My mouth was watering when I saw you guys doing that taste testing.
Yeah, I was like, well, I tell you what, I got 4 pork shoulders that I've got up in there with the dry rub that's going in the smoker tomorrow, man. So, you know, bring your appetite without a doubt. We're going to put a few pounds on that skinny frame of yours right there, my man.
Yeah, man. I'm going to come out looking like, I don't know, I guess the nation himself.
Yeah, come out looking like me. Unfortunately.
Right.
But that's about all I got really going on tonight. I've got still more stuff packing and everything else. We got to get basically all this stuff put together and all. But I wanted to come on here with my man Law Nation, let you guys know that we're going to be at Maverick Bar on Wednesday night. I'm hoping that we can see a whole lot of you. I know Miss Jackie's not here because she knows this isn't my normal night, and I don't want to intrude on anybody else that usually live streams tonight. But I want to give a special shout out and thank you to my man Law Nation. And if you haven't subscribed to him, what the hell's wrong with you? Seriously, what's wrong with you? I'm going to give you the final thoughts for the night.
Oh, man, I just can't wait to see you guys' lovely faces. Hey, Cowboys, we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I believe it. I can feel it. It's in my veins. It's bleeding silver and blue right now. And I want to see you guys stay true to that. And that's been my time. I really thank you guys for yours. Salute.
Law, did you steal Joe Boo's rum? I mean, you talking about buying an Eagle fan a beer, and now you're talking Super Bowl?
Man, I gotta say it. I've been saying it since '95, so I need to stop it.
Ooh, okay, all right. Well, you heard it from Law. I'm going to leave it right there. We'll be back actually tomorrow night, my normal live stream and everything else. It'll be the last broadcast from the channel here in Jobu's Man Cave. From here on out, we will be on the road to Dallas. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Law Nation, and we'll see you guys soon.
Salute. All right, man. What's up, man?
Man, I'm just trying to get ready for this draft trip, man. And I think
And you had a pretty good turnout, even on this stream right here, man. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
For those who can still hear us, hey, salute.
Well, no, he started another one.